Beneath the warm soil of southern Asia grows a root that has colored the world for thousands of years. Turmeric, the golden rhizome, is not a seed crop or a towering grain, but a humble underground stem, knotted and rough on the outside, blazing orange within. For more than 4,000 years it has been ground, brewed, painted, and prayed over, woven so deeply into human life that it is hard to imagine kitchens, temples, or medicine cabinets without it. Its story begins in the tropical lowlands of the Indian subcontinent, where wild relatives of the plant first drew the attention of early farmers. They learned that this leafy, lily-like plant hid its treasure beneath the ground, and that treasure would travel far. From the Indus Valley, turmeric spread along ancient trade routes, carried by merchants and monks across Asia and beyond, until it reached the kitchens of China, the markets of the Middle East, and eventually the spice ships of Europe. Everywhere it went, it earned new names and new uses, prized as much for its brilliant pigment as for its flavor. To understand turmeric, you must first understand how it is grown. It thrives in heat and humidity, in regions where the monsoon brings heavy rains and the soil drains well. Farmers plant pieces of the rhizome itself, small fingers cut from a parent root, each carrying the promise of a new plant. Within weeks, broad green leaves push upward, and beneath the surface the underground stems begin to swell and multiply, drinking in the warmth of the long growing season. For 7 to 10 months the plant gathers its strength. Then, as the leaves yellow and dry, the time for harvest arrives. This is patient, careful work. The rhizomes are dug from the earth by hand or by plow, lifted in clumps still heavy with soil. They are washed, sorted, and then boiled or steamed, a step that tames their raw bitterness and locks in their color. After cooking, the roots are spread out under the sun to dry for many days, hardening until they can be snapped like a stick. Finally, they are polished and ground into the fine golden powder the world knows so well. From a single planted finger, a farmer may harvest a cluster many times its size. The color that defines turmeric comes from a compound called curcumin, and it is this same substance that has fascinated healers for millennia. In the traditional medicine of India, turmeric was prescribed for wounds, for digestion, for the skin, and for countless ailments of body and spirit. It was rubbed onto the bodies of brides and grooms before weddings, a ritual of purification and blessing still practiced today. Hindu ceremonies, Buddhist robes, and sacred offerings all carry its golden stain. To many, turmeric is not merely a spice but a symbol of auspiciousness, prosperity, and the divine. Its role in ritual is matched by its role at the table. Turmeric is the soul of the curry, the warm earth tone beneath thousands of dishes across South and Southeast Asia. It seasons rice, lentils, and stews, and lends its color to mustards and cheeses far from its homeland. For centuries it served as a dye for cloth, staining monks' robes and festival garments a deep saffron yellow. In an age before synthetic colors, this single root painted much of the world. Today turmeric is more sought after than ever. India remains by far the largest producer, growing the overwhelming share of the global crop, while millions of small farmers depend on it for their livelihood. Scientists now study curcumin in laboratories, exploring its effects on inflammation and disease, and supplements and golden lattes have carried the ancient root into modern wellness culture across the globe. Demand has grown so quickly that turmeric has become a true global commodity, traded in tons and shipped across oceans. Yet for all its modern fame, the heart of turmeric remains unchanged. It is still grown in small fields by hand, still dug from warm earth, still boiled and dried under the same sun that has ripened it for ages. In every pinch of golden powder lies a thread connecting the ancient farmer to the modern kitchen, the temple to the laboratory. The golden root endures, feeding bodies and blessing lives, a quiet reminder of how deeply a single plant can root itself in the story of humankind.